What's up, nerds? Welcome to GeekBeast, part of the Geekish Network. This is your daily rundown of geek news by geeks like you. If you're new to our show, we cover the geek news beat, and we share our opinions about that news. I'm your host, Chuck, and I got two hosts with me today. I got the old school, the original OG, also a hater, too, of my vocals, Tell.
Hey, what's going down? I don't know about that hate part, man. I'm just saying, man.
Pure hate, you guys. He was giving me pure hate. Trying to read me. He's trying to read me.
Some people couldn't carry a note in a bucket. I'm just saying, some people.
Hey, maybe that's the style choice. Maybe that's the style choice. Maybe I'm doing something new. You know what I'm saying?
It was new.
Know what I'm saying? I'm like hip hop in the 90s. You can't do what somebody else did. And we got my other host, Johnny Randy Randolph. Say what's up.
Yo, what's up, GeekBeast? Chuck, what are we talking about tonight?
First stories first. We're gonna have a couple of moments of silence, you guys. Star Wars, Predator, Rocky Star. Yes, I said star. Carl Weathers has died. It's a sad day in the galaxy far, far away. We will no longer hear the voice say Mando. We won't no longer hear that voice. And he passed away last week.
Yo.
So this is the guy that made Rocky Balboa great.
Yo,
he was his competition and his friend.
We got to talk about this too. Rocky, I mean, we know Sylvester Stallone, the character. Rocky is low-key the story of Apollo.
Say it louder.
The first one is about his dominance. The second one is about his decline. The third one is about his rebirth. The fourth one is about his death. And Rocky falls off after he is gone until we resurrect it with his legacy in Creed. Rocky is about Apollo, and Carl Weathers embodied the shit out of that character.
He did. You know, was coming to America. We were so excited about that,
man.
And then he failed. We all cried. Like, no,
yeah, man. And Apollo in that first one, he was talking shit all through them. He nicknamed him Italian Stallion.
Yep.
And you know, he had some comedic chops too, because I loved him in Happy Gilmore. He was absolutely hilarious.
Oh, they should put that on there. Happy Gilmore. He was great in that.
And he banged out Vanity in Action Jackson, so you get props for that one too.
He sure did. He did his thing. Shout out to Carl Weathers. May you rest in peace, man. May you rest in peace.
Yes, sir.
We have another person that passed away as well. Pinocchio co-creator Mark Gustafson had died at 64. So he worked beside Guillermo del Toro to do to actually create the Pinocchio movie for Netflix. So the really dark, rich, based on the real story of Pinocchio, he did that. He died on Thursday, February 1st of a heart attack. 64 years old.
Oof, I hate that.
Life is a gift. We got to treasure it. Every single, it goes quickly.
And, he's worked on a number of things. His career also included the short-lived Fox series, The PJs. Y'all remember The PJs?
He did The PJs?
He's an animator. He also did The Fantastic Mr. Fox with Wes Anderson.
Okay.
He does stop motion very well. That's what his skills are. And he also did the Return to Oz. He did the California Raisin commercials.
Return to Oz.
Wow.
Okay. He got to start with the California Raisins commercials in 1980 and 1998.
He did California Raisins?
Yeah, I mean, that's when that had a very big part into really pushing claymation to the forefront were those California Raisin commercials.
Yeah, so
I went and learned the jingle how to play it on the piano. It was like dun 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 dun.
Yep. So rest in peace, Mark Gustafson. May your legacy live on, and people know that what you've done for stop motion in particular is a lot of great work. We're gonna go to some more positive news. Microsoft has shared details on bringing Xbox games to PlayStation next week. They're like, hey, we bought up a third of the industry, you guys, and we're gonna and we made a promise to the U.S. government that we're gonna share the games across platforms. So they're gonna come on next week and say, we're told that Microsoft was originally planning this business update for later this month, alongside an announcement of Hi-Fi Rush for PS5 and Nintendo Switch. After speculation around Hi-Fi Rush, Starfield, and other Xbox games coming to PS5 intensified over the weekend, Microsoft has responded with the announcement of the business update event for next week. They're like, hey, we know y'all really want this.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen when they pop up Game Pass? We're going to put a Game Pass app on PlayStation and a Game Pass app on Switch, because they've already made the one for the Switch already.
Mm-hmm.
And Nintendo's like, no dice. We have our own store. But since this Epic and Apple thing is falling out the way it's falling out, you kind of can't stop us now. We got a court case that tells us we can do this.
So, I know you guys are gamers. I'm not really. Is this good news?
It's gonna be interesting
for the fans.
Yeah, for the fans.
Yeah.
If they do it via Gamer Pass, if they do open up their own store on these other platforms, gamers gonna go crazy.
Yeah,
because Microsoft can gladly bow out of the console race. They can say, we can make something just to play the games. We'll make our own version of Apple TV and just play games on it. And then they'll say, if you got a PlayStation, get you a Game Pass. You got a Switch, get you a Game Pass. We'll play your games for you. You know? Sure, they got God of War and whatnot. Whatever. They got God of War on PC too. Don't worry about that. But you can buy all our games. And that means Starfield, Elder Scroll, Skyrim.
Right. I was gonna say, like, this is more than just like the Game Pass. This is like they're also like letting go of some properties too as well. Like Starfield, like you don't necessarily have to have like the Xbox Game Pass in order to potentially play Starfield. Like I'm assuming that this article is saying that, you know, you could potentially, you know,
just buy
the game, right, straight up. That's interesting. That is interesting.
But would you buy the game for $69.99 or would you buy the Game Pass for $19.99 a month?
Yeah, that part. Yeah.
Especially
if it's not a game that requires you to be Twitch. Like shooters are kind of tough to do.
Yeah.
Because of the latency. But if it's like games where you don't have to deal with latency, that's perfect. That's fine. Why not?
We care to forget that they do own Call of Duty. Microsoft owns Call of Duty.
They do.
And they do own World of Warcraft. And they do own Diablo. They own some heavy hitter games. They bought up all the studios. Microsoft owns some heavy hitter games. You know,
share it to everybody.
So we'll sell you the game, or you can buy a Gamer Pass if it works.
I feel like if these studios were basketball players, I feel like Microsoft's like Magic Johnson. All he wants to do is pass. So I just want to make everybody else look good. You know, we got some dope little games. Check me out.
Because they have two ways you can do a lot of their games. Their smaller games in particular that don't require Twitch skills. Is like you can download the whole entire game, and we'll link you to the server, to our servers. Once that ping happens, we're paid. $19.99 a month. So it's going to be interesting what they're going to say. Microsoft has addressed the rumors head on and explains in the new Xbox strategy and what the future holds for its gaming efforts after a massive $68.7 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard. That's a lot. Trying to tell you, they spent $70 billion for it. They're going to get their money back.
Yeah,
they got to. Yeah, they
got to. Like, yo, you're not worried about Game Pass everywhere. They're like, well, you gonna see it in your Tesla. You're gonna see it in the checkout screen at Ralph's or Publix, wherever it is you're getting groceries.
I think it is in Tesla.
You're gonna see it on your Apple Watch. You're gonna be like, hey, I'm about to get this video.
Apple Vision Pro. It's gonna be on everything.
It's gonna be everywhere.
Everywhere.
I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also not mad at them acting quickly also, because especially with the way storytelling and gaming could be potentially changing due to the goggle boom. You know, you probably want to make sure you got a good foothold and and what's out there, so that when the new stuff comes, you're not like,
And Microsoft has missed out on enough things to know that you don't want to be playing catch up.
Especially
they missed out on
PlayStation 5.
They missed out on a lot of things.
This PlayStation 5 versus the Series X and S. Oh, they got dogged. They came with two different consoles, and the PlayStation's the one you couldn't find in the store.
But even look at all the technology booms that they missed out in. They missed out in search. They missed out in phones.
Yeah,
they missed out,
music in portable music players.
They missed out on a lot. So the last thing they wanted, they know what the consequences are of coming to the game a little too late.
What's really good about this is that they're led by Sarah Bond. And Sarah Bond's a black woman.
She's the chief technologist, right? Or
she's the CEO.
Is she the CEO? Okay.
Yeah, she's taking over for Phil Spencer. I think he's going up to the board, and she's going to take over CEO.
Nice. We need more black women in tech.
Yep.
I was looking over at what Defunct was saying. Defunct said something I was thinking, and he said something to the effect of it's a good kind of way for Microsoft to maybe get out of the hardware department. If I remember right, when I was a kid, Sega did the same thing. They were like, I think we're just going to kind of stick with software.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can see them keeping the console. They always have a console out there, but you don't care if it sells or not.
But Sega got out because of the Dreamcast. It was a little too ahead of its time.
Yes.
I love that damn machine.
That machine is amazing. I bought one. I got one in the closet right now.
Yeah, that Dreamcast was dope.
Yeah, I bought the sports edition one. Still have it. Brand new almost. It works. The Funk said he heard VR corn isn't supported on the Apple Vision Pro. That sounds like
I heard about that
in the coffin.
Yeah,
they got to figure that out. It don't matter. People gonna VPN in somehow. They're gonna get it.
Yeah. I mean, that's an easy fix.
You shouldn't block it. You should let people do what they want to do on these websites.
And then also, whatever it is that you're seeing for this device is going to be changed and drastically. We're only a week in, so whatever it is that you see is it can't do this and it can't do that and all that. None of that matter. None of it.
Hey, there was no App Store when Steve was alive and he announced that phone. He was against the App Store.
Yeah, I mean, Steve said he'd never make a big phone either, and look what he did.
And then we have a big ass screen with multiple cameras, more games than any other console on planet Earth on it. Yeah. It's playing console games at this point. Yeah. So I think and that's all because of Tim. Tim Cook knows what he's doing.
And you've got to be able to pivot quickly, right? In the tech game, you got to be able to pivot real quick. Because it only takes one thing, and that's it. And everybody else is playing catch up.
I understand the message. It's we don't want corn on here because we don't want that to be the message of the headset. That would dominate the headset. Everybody about to buy corn. So we'll limit corn right now. We'll we'll get 2 generations in. We got the $1,000 one. And then when everybody buys it, we unleash the corn. It's gonna be a harvest for everybody.
I get what they're trying to do, but they gotta have it because it's gonna sell. It's gonna put the technology. Yes, sir.
I mean, you be shooting yourself in the foot to not allow that.
Oh God! Like I said,
stand on that principle for now. Yeah.
The internet is what it is because of corn and video games.
Hey, Rodney said best. They will use the AVP 3D cameras to record corn. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey.
Oh yeah. I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah. You can't suppress human nature, baby.
Yeah.
That's how we all got here. You got to put it on out there.
It's the reason why our species exists.
Exactly.
Let's not pretend like it ain't powerful.
Right.
The Boogaloo brothers already have it in the van right now.
Hey, the only reason VHS beat out Betamax was because of that corn. Because they had it at the corn conventions. And they recorded all the movies on it.
Yes. And on top of that, speaking of Microsoft, retailers may be done selling physical Xbox games. During the conversation between GamesIndustry.biz, EIC, editor-in-chief James Batchelor, and the site's head, Chris Dring was asked his thoughts on Microsoft's latest round of layoffs. Of the nearly 2,000 workers cut from the company on January 25th, were folks reportedly responsible for bringing Xbox games to physical retail. So they're like, hey.
So they're
we
not
may
going
be
to set
done. We may be
Xboxes
done
anymore?
physical. We'll do a couple of games. We have to pay for that shelf space. We have to
Mm-hmm.
pay for the end caps, and
Yeah.
we got all this shit for $19.99 a month.
Mm.
We can move this up to
Mm.
$50, and people will pay for it every month because they got a whole library of games.
Mm.
They
I'm
probably
so I'm so depressed about physical media disappearing.
disappearing. Yeah, me
It's
too.
just
Because we've seen Amazon. Even Amazon has people have bought digital films, and
yeah.
Amazon has pulled them away. And when they pulled them off, they pulled them off people's hard drives.
Oh,
So when you
well,
logged
they
into
don't
Amazon
own them.
Prime, and they snatched it. And I'm thinking, Amazon, you hold up the internet. You have a company that literally holds up the internet, and
Mm.
you're pulling the media off. It'd be different if they said, "Hey, we're not going to sell it anymore. Let's pull it off the front page." But people that bought it, they can always access it.
Right.
Nah, they snatching it from them.
Hmm.
Then it'd be different. And since they own that stuff, right? You have to at least give it to them in Blu-ray form. Like, look, we're taking this film away from you. We know you paid for it. We're going to ship you a free copy in Blu-ray.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
It's not like Amazon can't eat it.
Oh, nah. They can do anything, but
Well, this is like the new standard, so kind of get
Yeah.
used to it. I mean, I think you're going to see like a big rush for physical media, kind of like when records started making like a big gigantic comeback. We're going to start seeing that as well. Because if I remember, like, didn't Best Buy just like decide that they were going to stop selling physical media like a month or
Yep.
so ago?
They're going to stop selling it. Yeah, they said they're going to stop selling Blu-rays and stuff.
Uh,
And I'm looking at Blu-rays now that I have one in my collection. Criterion still sells Blu-rays. They're not going to transfer them digitally because they respect that digital format is uncompressed, and that if you're streaming anything, it's still compressed media.
yeah. But they do have a streaming service as well, right?
They do.
Criterion, yeah.
That they do, but it's compressed.
Mm.
So they're figuring that out.
I'm definitely holding on to my old physical media. Like even like I just ran across like a big gigantic box of VHS tapes.
Oh, that's crazy.
And
go
for like a
VCR, go get one that's affordable.
Yeah, I do. I bought a VCR last year, man. And I was surprised at how jacked up the prices are. Like, like the prices are super expensive. Let me give you a hint. Nobody's building any more VCRs, and the reason why they're expensive is nobody's making the parts anymore. So whatever repairs that you have to do to any old VCR, they're cannibalizing old ones in order to fix them. So what's out there is just out there. They're not making anything else. That's why it's so expensive. But what I was about to say, when it comes to those old VHS tapes, man, typically, like if you would ask me, like even just a couple of years ago, I'd just toss them because it's old commercials and old, rap cities are on there and stuff like that. But as I'm looking at like the writing on the wall and about how physical media is just about to be such a different thing, like how like people like records because of the hiss and whatever it is that grain that you hear that's on it, man. I think like there's gonna be something about that when it comes to like VHS because it's super grainy and I think we're gonna start seeing like some old nostalgia kind of things kind of come back. So I was like, I'm not gonna sell these tapes. I'm gonna just keep them and maybe see what happens, what comes of them.
What was told to me about audio in particular, when audio is analog, there's a wave file. A wave is perfectly curved. It curves perfectly, and there's air in it. So your audio formats breathe. Cassettes, vinyl, even CDs have a little bit of breath in them. They said when you go completely digital, it's like ones and zeros, so it's like more square. So it's like
okay, I see what you're saying.
That separates it versus it being a curve. So it's like the small things in between the curve that you get in a lot of the sound. Now, so it's gotten better, of course. AI has made it significantly better, but there's nothing like taking a breath.
And there was something about like, I don't know, the errors in an album. You could hear the creaks and those little small inconsistencies about it. They gave it a connection almost to you back in the day.
Made it real.
It was like, you just put on a record and then it kind of moves into it.
The problem we run into now, all our music creation is quite digital now.
Right.
So, and it's cleaned up. The problem with NERD, Pharrell's group, for example, they said the music product was too polished. It was too perfect. Like him and Shay and Chad made perfect music. Like it was perfect.
CDs were made again for record companies to remake all of those cassettes and records.
Yes.
And so for people to go buy, they sold it on it being perfect for people to go out and rebuy it again. And like when the CDs came out, they were just making, so that's why a lot of like rap labels got labels, because people were going back and buying old copies of, they were going back and buying new copies of old records, right? You used to have it on a cassette player, now you got it on your CD player, and they were just rolling in the dough. And so they were just giving out record deals like that because of those reasons.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a marketing strategy.
Speaking of music, Universal Music Group said, you know what, TikTok, take all our music off of your platform.
Yeah, I heard about
really?
that.
So they took on, Universal Music Group was the first one to strike. The label said it's focused on 3 main areas of contract renewal: securing appropriate compensation for performers and songwriters, protection against AI-generated music flooding the platform, and bolstering online safety. Yep.
Well, then they're probably just not making nowhere near the amount of money that they could be on that platform, because you have to get like tens of thousands of spins just to make like $1. Like
man. You have to make millions of spins to get $1. It's like tens of thousands get you like 6 pennies.
Yeah. And I don't mind Universal Group suffering. I just hate that the artists suffer. That's the problem that I have.
So the music catalogs of Taylor Swift, Drake, Harry Styles, and many other artists represented by Universal Music Groups are expected to be pulled from TikTok. Yep, they're all being pulled.
But I wonder how much that is really like, like how much the artists really do get paid. Like you said, it's like thousands and thousands. I was looking on socials today, right? And it was talking about how Meg Thee Stallion had this brand new contract that's never been seen because she gets her own masters and this, that, and the third. And everybody was like patting her on the back and congratulations on your new contract. But then, some people are like, like people like Puffy are like giving masters away because they don't really have a whole lot of value anymore.
No, they don't have value.
Like a lot of folks are like getting like these masters deals. It's not like the 80s. You had your masters in the 80s, then you making cake. But that's just not how music is made like that. My money's made.
We saw Taylor just crush all that, right? Yeah. Scooter Braun bought all her masters. He paid what, $72 million for them, something stupid. And she turned around and re-recorded everything. Everybody thought the original recordings are going to be it, because everybody wants the original recordings of everything, particularly in rock music. Like the master edition only matters. If you go back and re-record it, Oz tainted. It's not the same. Ozzy wasn't on the same level of cocaine when he recorded that, so we don't want it as much.
And they're not, though. They're not. With some people it works, but some of them it doesn't work.
Yeah. Recently, Taylor's re-releases have doubled her sales of her normal.
But it's Taylor.
But this is Taylor. Not everybody is Taylor.
But we're in that generation where all the music's released perfect, and since everything's going through a digital format and not going through analog tapes anymore, you don't have the breathing or the hisses or the mistakes anymore.
Yeah.
You have engineers in there perfecting everything, so it's going to sound the same. Right. You can put it in Taylor's pitch.
Yeah.
And she's
for
like,
Taylor, it's worked. For some other artists have talked about it, it hasn't worked as well.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Because we are talking about Taylor, and so her audience don't care. But some other ones,
but a lot of them probably their music is not. It's like I'm about to go straight Most Def. I'm trying not to go Yasin Bey.
Was it Target
Some music is technically stronger in the original take. Like you could not, if Nirvana was still together and Kurt Cobain was still alive, he couldn't go back and redo those songs because he recorded those songs from 19 to 25. And so it wouldn't sound the same as a 40-year-old Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, no. That's a valid point too.
However, Taylor sounds the same as she's always sounded.
Yeah.
From the age of 19 to today.
I mean, we had a perfect example last night with the Grammys of how like people's voice changes. Like Billy Joel came out and was like, "I'm gonna come back and sing again," and I was like, I mean, you definitely sound different. Yeah. What's her name? Was it Joni Mitchell? Is that her name? She came out and it's like, "Ooh, you definitely don't sound like the same anymore."
Like Imagine New Edition trying to do Mr. Telephone Man.
Yeah,
now it's 60 years old. Like,
yeah, them years stack up. Like your vocals ain't the same anymore.
Yeah. But those are artists that have flexed their vocals. Like Mariah Carey couldn't redo her old catalog.
Right.
She can't even hit those notes anymore. She couldn't redo her old catalog. She's done ripped her voice up. Like Miley Cyrus couldn't redo her old catalog. And Miley's relatively young. Her voice has changed since she's had had surgeries on her voice, on her throat. So a lot of things have changed. But I wish artists the best.
No, that's
TikTok try to do a bully tactic. And Universal's like, fuck you. Pull all our music off. Our music plays on your platform. We're suing you.
I wonder if that's retroactive because, all the millions and millions of TikToks that have previously used it is like all of a sudden that's just, just delete it.
Because I think they say, hey, we want to use your music. You got to pay us to let people use your music on our platform. They're like, what? What? That's probably what it was like. Like, what? What are you doing? What do you mean?
Well, Ronnie said one of the dancing TikTokers I follow had about 1/3 of their TikToks muted. So it's funny seeing them dance to silence.
Yeah.
Wow.
We want more money. You're using our music,
right?
And TikTok saying, "Well, our music is what's exposing people to your music. Our platforms are exposing people to your music." I'm like, "Are we gonna play this game of chicken?" Okay.
And it really isn't. It's like because you only listen to it for 30 seconds.
And it's going to be, and what's going to happen is everybody's going to see Universal did it, and everybody's going to be like, well, Universal did it, let's do it. Warner Brothers Music is going to be like, well, let's do it too. Then Sony Music's going to be like, let's do it too. And TikTok's going to have a bunch of people dancing with no music. It's going to be just silent videos. It's going to be silent.
They're going to take it to court. It's going to go to court,
though. Who? Who's going to take it?
They're going to take it to court.
Who?
TikTok. They're going to take it to court. So? They're going to come up with some crazy reason behind it. It's going to get in litigation. Who knows if they win or not? I ain't saying they're going to win, but they're going to take it to court. Because like you said, it's the biggest social media platform out there. And now you're saying we're going to just go take away all the music? You got to at least fight. You got to throw a punch. We can't just let them take away everything. We got to do something. Even if they ain't right, we got to throw a punch.
We're not going to renew our contract with you. That's what it's going to be. We got to contract negotiations, and you try to bully us to get more out of us. We're not going to renew it.
It's a lot of money out there.
And it's so funny. Rodney said Tracy Chapman sounded great. She did sound great.
Yeah, she did. Today. But she's an exceptional talent.
Yeah, and it made her song the most streamed song from the Grammys. It hit like #1. Like people went back and listened to Fast Car.
Yeah.
They went back. Something else that's interesting, speaking of fast cars, Pokimane leaves Twitch after a decade with the streaming platform. So that was a real hard crash, baby. Pokimane, she was like, you know what, I'm out.
Oh, she left Twitch.
She left Twitch.
Yeah, but she's still on YouTube though.
Yeah. Pokimane also released a new episode of her podcast in which she went into detail about her reason for leaving Twitch. In it, she voices many issues of Twitch conduct in recent years, saying, at one point, I personally am done with Twitch's messy behavior, in the sense that I'm not done with Twitch, but I'm done with like being emotionally invested in the changes that the company is doing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that says a lot about loyalty to your company. Your company may not have loyalty to you. You over here bending over backwards, making people money.
Yeah.
And Twitch had problems with a lot of its people of color streamers and gamers too. So
she's one on the list, but she was the golden egg for a while. Pokimane has been streaming since at least 2012. She officially created her Twitch account in 2014, and in a decade since, she's amassed 9.3 million followers.
Oof. My goodness.
And they'd be like, I'm out. That's hard.
It's tapped out.
That's hard.
But I mean, I wouldn't like cry for her because she's tapped into a whole new revenue stream with another platform. So it's not like she's disappearing, and a big chunk of that's gonna follow.
Yep.
So
I'm gonna say do this story. I'm trying to end on a happier story. We'll probably have to go to that story after this. Deadpool's creator is leaving the character behind. As a new chapter in the life of Deadpool begins, another one is ending. This summer, as Merc as the Merc with the Mouth makes his debut in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The artist responsible for bringing him to life will be putting the character behind him. Rob Liefeld announced on social media Monday that he's doing one final Deadpool comic this summer, and then will leave the character behind forever. On retiring from the Deadpool.
Is he the
It's
original
official.
creator?
Yes.
Huh.
33 years.
Well, I've been hearing multiple stories about how the original comic book creators and artists have been like really getting the shit end of the stick when it comes to the payouts. I'm wondering if that is probably a reason, if that has something to do with it. I mean, Ryan Reynolds doesn't seem like the type of person to be, super shysty, but then again, he doesn't run Marvel either. So
No, he doesn't.
That's the thing. The writers and creators don't own the characters. Studios own them. The comic book characters, comic book companies, Marvel owns them. DC, they own them. Yeah. Because wasn't my guy who did what? Watchmen? What's his name?
Shoot. Oh yeah, I can't think of his name either right
Will
now.
Eisner?
Alan Moore. Alan Moore. Alan Moore has created some of the most iconic characters. He's got almost absolutely nothing in comparison to what they've made. Like his revisions of Swamp Thing and Watchmen and some of the other ones, he's not made a fraction of what
they're like
DC is made off of them.
Yeah, they're like rappers and singers. They don't make as much as
they don't make
yeah. Everybody set up that same publishing deal across all things.
Yeah.
So I wish him the best in his next endeavor or whatever he decides to do.
That's why I don't like big companies like that. I just I always want things to go to the artist. And when I hear about a big company not doing well, I'm like, I'm good with that. I just don't want the artist to suffer.
Yeah,
that's who suffers first.
And that's who suffers first.
That's who suffers first. James Cameron's Alien is getting its own Marvel What If.
Oh,
so
what, season 3?
Reiser himself returns as one of the series writers, along with his friend Leon Reiser, his son Leon Reiser, as well as Adam F. Goldberg from the Goldbergs and Muppet Mayhem, Brian Volker Wise, the Toys, Movies That Made Us, and Hans Bradoff, Damage Control. So I guess they're making Aliens was returning. We're both on TV and to the movies, and they're going to give it a What If universe.
Interesting.
So it's going to be interesting.
That's interesting. I wonder if that opens up the doors for other things. Like I remember when they had the comic, what it was like RoboCop versus Terminator. Those that could be kind of fun. Something like that.
I think Predator versus Alien is canon. It is canon. The one in space, not the one on Earth, but the one comic book series in space.
I think you said RoboCop versus Terminator. That's kind of dope, man.
Yeah, it's a real comic. It's a real comic. But imagine that like live. That would be super fun.
Yeah. Like Batman and the Turtles. That's a real comic.
Yeah, Batman and the Turtles. They got cartoons and stuff with that too. Yeah. I saw a Shredder beat Batman ass.
So this story. I think this story is a great story to end on, you guys. Chuck E. Cheese game show is being developed, and it's a bit like Squid Game.
What?
It sounds like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, I'm thinking Five Nights at Freddy.
The show will remind some of Netflix's Squid Game as its adult competing in a large version of the games they played as kids. So it's like Double Dare. The official description, the format will feature standalone comedic physical challenges where duos of big kids, aka adults, will compete over supersized arcade games, including pinball, air hockey, alley roller, and the human claw. The top ticket earning duo will get the chance to exchange their tickets for prizes off the massive version of iconic Chuck E. Cheese prize wall.
This Chuck E. Cheese looks creepy as hell. I don't know.
Super creepy.
I don't know if this is necessary.
I mean, you said something that I'd rather see, and that is like bring back Double Dare.
That'd be Double Dare, yes. Bring back what I can do on television.
You can't do that on television.
You can't do that on television. Yeah. You can't say I don't know.
I don't know.
Or water. Yeah,
water, man. Yeah. That show was so
green
good.
Slide,
Yeah. I mean, You know what? You know what they should do? Don't bring back shit and just come up with new shit. Just come with new idea. Shit. Oh, that's a novel idea these
days. That takes courage.
And I can't blame the older generation for making it. They done moved on. They're out here hanging out with Harvey Weinstein and Epstein, and it's all the young kids making all this stuff. And we're remaking all the stuff we grew up on. We don't need another Transformers series. I know we constantly get one. The toys don't get that much better. If they even get better.
Oh no, that Grimlock's pretty goddamn cool.
But that's the robot. But that's based on Gen 1 though. That's a Gen 1 Grimlock. Okay. That's not Gen 15.
No, it's not. It's Gen 1 Grimlock.
You know? Do you know what Gen 15 Grimlock looks like?
No, I've never
exactly.
15
exactly. It don't even matter what he looked like. He ain't as cool as Gen 1 Grimlock. You know? And so it'd be nice if they just moved on to something else, create something new. Like if you had to bring stuff back, bring back stuff that failed that was kind of cool, like Mask or the show Visionary. No GoBots.
Don't do the GoBots.
Don't go to GoBots.
Hey, remember GoBots was first. GoBots beat Transformers.
Yeah, don't mean nothing, but first don't make it better.
And there are some people that say GoBots. I know they're on crack, but like to say GoBots are better than Transformers. There is a fandom out there.
Why do you disrespect Leader One?
Why do you talk to those people? Why do you
talk to them? I said there is a fandom out there.
Yeah, there's a fandom for all kinds of bad stuff. There's a fandom out there for people that smell poo. There's a fandom for everything. It's out there. It's out there. It's out there.
We gotta get some trends. I wonder if we gotta get a GoBot fan. Like that's a great. Yeah, we gotta get a GoBot fan out there. Just be like, I prefer GoBots over Transformers. Like we gotta have a conversation.
That person's a serial killer. Don't do that. And you shouldn't hang around that person.
Man. Bring back Mask. You remember Mask? Mobile.
As I said, bring back Mask.
Yeah, I remember Mask. I actually had the cars. I had a couple of them.
Yeah, Mask, Visionaries, where they had little glowing the holographic animals on their chest and then come out their chest.
Oh my God, you went all the way back.
Yeah, jeez. Man. There's a million cartoons they can remake. They're gonna I mean, even Turbo Team would be better than remaking something that's already successful.
Wow. I always wondered. I'm like, Turbo Team, the kid, in case you didn't know, was a kid. He got wet and turned into a car. I'm like, how you wash your ass?
He didn't. Couldn't go to a car wash.
Thank you.
But here, I got one for y'all. They bring back pole position.
Who?
Oh, wow.
Racing's really big. The cartoon
pole position. I remember that. Yeah.
Or you can make it live action, make really dope cars, and it'd be like, okay, I'm gonna bring it up, Randy. Don't get mad at me.
Oh, here we go. You're warming up.
Well, go ahead. Go. What we got? What do we got?
Pole position is about cars. Mm-hmm. The greatest movie franchise in the world is about what? Cars.
Don't do that.
Treat it like mechs.
Yo, they did a animation. Netflix dropped a Fast and Furious
animation. They did do an animation. Yeah, yes, they did. They did. We're young kids.
Yeah. Yep. And it failed.
As it should have, because it wasn't about family. You know, there's a lot of things they could do, right? There's a lot of things they can do. They create new things. You're going to revisit old things. Visit old things that were successful that have been long forgotten. You know, like Disney should make Black Hole, the movie, over and make it a good movie, since that was considered their first adult movie. They should consider redoing that movie and making it good. Don't give me another Disney fairy tale thing that sold a gajillion copies. Give me one of your old properties that failed and you make it new and make it good.
Yeah, bring back. What was I about to
like? Give me a Buck Rogers show.
Love Buck Rogers.
What's his name?
Howard the Duck.
Bring the Dynasty in them. Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon. Yeah, Flash Gordon.
Give me a Flash
Me and Theo were talking about that. He's like, you can remake. That's what Theo. Me and Theo were talking about that. Yo. Me and my brother were talking about that.
Well, yeah, man, give me a Flash Gordon. I'm still waiting for the sequel for that joint, man. I love that joint.
It was great.
It was great.
Yo, the Hawkman, you couldn't tell me nothing about them. Them joints, boy.
Yeah, man.
A damn Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon.
The Funk said, one thing that did happen in the Generations line is GoBot's Rock Lords Transformers a couple of months ago. I was psyched. Okay.
See, there we go.
And they killed the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea new series. They killed it. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, that sounds expensive. Anytime you're dealing with water.
Yeah, man. Zach, whatchamacallit?
Yeah. The League of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Like make that a series. Yeah. Like there's a lot of things they can make series, you know.
But then again, do some old shit just need to die? Like,
yeah, it does.
Do we need to even update it? Like, let's just create new IPs.
I walked into a Barnes and Noble, and there's so many new stories. Yeah, they're everywhere. Like people, they're making hella books. Like
a lot of those stories were made by racist old white men too.
Yeah, let's let those go.
I'm talking about the ones that even do like let's not even update. Let's not even consider updating them because we thought that like, ooh, if we updated it could be cool. Like just let them go.
Like I don't need another Brer Rabbit cartoon.
Yeah, you know, like
I don't need none of that.
Yo, I need to find me. I need to rewatch Song of the South. I haven't seen it since I was a kid. Is it even still out there? I need to find that.
You can find it somewhere. Disney tried to bury it.
The fuck said Disney could split the water tank cost with James Cameron for where the water.
You could. You know, there's a lot of things. But with that being said, you guys, the Chuck E. Cheese game show is coming. We can't stop it. It's on its way. They're gonna. I think they're gonna have a hard learning in this. You know, when they could easily brought back Double Dare, which is an amazing game show, and we all would have played it, especially Family Double Dare. Yeah. Oh yeah,
I love Double Dare.
Yeah. With that being said, what do you got to say to the people, Centel?
Oh, hey, yo, just keep watching.
Looking
forward to Benji Worthy. Oh yeah, come check me out on Centel. Do a lot of breakdowns with television movies. I also have an international one called Cinema Mosaic that you can check out. It's just super heavy in South Korean cinema right now, but it is tons of fun. And every now and then I get to steal a member from the Geekish Network over and have them watch some stuff with me. So if y'all want to come and show some support and love, just go ahead over there and hit that subscription button.
Yep. Randy, tell them how they can find you on socials, Centel.
Oh, you find me on all socials at Centel on Twitter. I'll never call it X. On Twitter, on Instagram, and also on YouTube at youtube.com/Centel.
Okay. And only plans. Only plans.
Yeah, what's up, the fuck? I always love seeing you, my guy.
Yeah. Randy, tell them how people can find you.
You can find me across all social media at Johnny L. Randolph. And Wednesday, Bingeworthy. We're going live. We're gonna be back at Bingeworthy. And what are we watching?
Mr. and Miss Smith.
We're gonna be watching Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the new Donald Glover joint on Amazon Prime. So after we have GeekBeast, stay tuned for Mr. and Mrs. Smith and see how the Bingeworthy crew rates Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yep. With that being said, shout out to Digital Click for handling our overlays and our marketing materials. If you have any marketing needs or you need anything to do with streaming, hit up Digital Click, DIGITALCLIQ. And shout out to Rodney for holding us down and going extra long with us tonight. Appreciate it, Rodney. This is like we're making up for last week. We hope to see you all on Wednesday for both GeekBeast and Bingeworthy. With that being said, y'all have a good night. Peace.
Mm.